What? I thought you'd be happy to see me back in front of the camera. I'm still the most recognized face on the network, am I not? Also, I'm the only reason why you have some raw footage of what happened with the breach. You owe me. That's my name for it. And of course I can co-host. And I'll do you one better. I'm going to be covering the Vital Festival in exchange. But I'm the one who's going to read the teleprompt, alright? If I can't announce to the world Osmond's ousting of Vale's chief of staff, my life has no meaning. Let's face it, Osmond, no one likes you. Although is replacing him even temporarily with General Ironwood a good idea? Granted, martial law is also very terrible in its own right. The Vital Festival. I just need to check something while this is going on. Day 186. Day 187. Day 188. Day 190. Day 193. Day 196. Day 200. Okay, there's our time skip. Hold up, I just screwed up on something. Okay, let's stop there. Because I want to hear the epicness of this soundtrack. Majestic work of shared engineering, the results of international effort and collaboration, symbolizing world peace and unity of the people. A cultural melting pot where lucky visitors can partake in the culinary and recreational offerings of nations far from their own. And again, if I must say, and I feel like I must say this, until the end, your songs are fucking awesome. Awesome. I'd like to give a shout out to him because he's the composer of Jade and also the fan game that they're doing for the My Hero Academia universe. Although I'm not going to be playing that. I don't think. I might at some point, but anyway. Or a gathering place for the flower of Remnant's youth to test their mettle against each other under the gaze of an excited audience. The Amity Arena is all of this and more. One thing is for sure, despite the terrible terrorist attack of 2 weeks ago, the influx to and fro the arena has been constant I'm guessing that's supposed to say ever since the day of its arrival. And with the start of the Vital Festival just behind the corner, excitement is palpable. The teams who will partake in the competition may have been chosen, and shortly the seeding process will be broadcasted live. 32 teams at the starting gate, but only one will reign victorious as the champions. And speaking of which, I see some students. We will try and get some hot takes on the situation, and oh, just my luck, that's someone you know. Excuse me, but wouldn't you happen to be first years from Beacon Academy, would you? Miss Lisa? Oh my gods. Is that lady from the news? Yes, something like that. Got time for a couple questions, kids? Absolutely. Oh, are we live? Hi, Dad. We are. So if I remember correctly from the rosters, you're not teammates. So what could the two of you might be doing alone? Just the two of you eating noodles together? Well, yes, we may face each other during the tournament, but still we're friends. Yeah, nothing wrong about that. Like, even after the tournament, we'll have 3 years of studying together left. We left the tournament and make things weird now, figures later. A good attitude to have. What are your names, kids? Wait, you said you know the roster, so... I'm Ruby Rose, leader of Team Ruby, and we're going to kick some major butt in the tournament. Also, hi, Uncle Crow. Oh, Ruby, that's embarrassing. Noah Khakis from Team Jade, and I just hope no one will get hurt. Ahem, yes, no one getting hurt. That's a bit unlikely. Well, I mean seriously hurt. I know that it's a combat tournament. We're going to be hitting each other a whole lot. And I know that there are some that will take it more seriously than others. I just hope that no one lets it go too far. Combat or not, it's still just a competition, not a war. Wise beyond your years, aren't you? That's the kind of talk you usually hear from much older people than you. You have no idea. Don't I now? And speaking of things that keeps us on guessing, they tell me from the studio that it's time. Time for the seating. We're now going live with the two very special commentators for this Final Festival from the commentator box in the arena. Miss Violet Peach and Miss Glinda Goodwitch. Good morning. Good morning to you, Lisa. What a glorious day. For I, Violet Peach, have managed to convince my old-time teammate to be my mic partner once again. I only accepted because otherwise you would have gone on to do commentary completely unsupervised. And wouldn't that have been just tragic? Anyway, the seating, we are here to do the seating. And we have a very special guest for that. Straight from the cutest recesses of her bedroom, please welcome Janara! Why do I need to do this again? Basically, while Salem represents horror and terror, Janara represents cuteness. She's so cute. Daddy, she looks like a doll, but why does she have all those lines on her body? She's probably some kind of fondness, my dear. She looks even cuter on screen, doesn't she? I wish I could have recorded this. Give us a good placement, Janara. Go Jade. Janara will be pulling out the names of the teams and filling the brackets in a random order. Me and Glinda call out a number from the bracket and she takes a ticket from this box. Then you have to read it out loud, okay? We rehearsed this at New Lonesome. Why are you asking me? First, it's so that the audience is up to speed as well, honey. Also, since you're going off script, what kind of script is giving a serene smile to the camera and wave? The kind that sells merchandise. If you're merchandise? What merchandise? My adopted daughter, my image rights. Anyway, what about a little rundown on the tournament rules before we begin the seeding, partner? Very well. The teams will engage in different kinds of fights over the course of tournament, all of which are sudden death rules. Actually, speaking of merchandise, I would like to ask Minnows Kane to, they should make merchandise for Jade just to get it more publicized. I don't know what it is. I just want this game to further succeed in its capabilities because this game is amazing. If this was on Steam for $50, I'll be willing to pay for it because of how good it is. And anything that's associated with it, because again, this brings more light to Rooster Teeth's Ruby series. And that's why I'm enjoying it so much. And again, I left the link in the description below. It's a free-to-play game. You can play it for yourself if you want. He's not selling it yet, I don't think. If you want early versions, go to his Patreon, which will be through the link to his site. Also, while I'm on the topic of merchandise, I would Minos Kane, I would like to see merch for this game. I really would. Like, maybe a Janara keychain or plushie. Or maybe just anything like from... Oh, like they did with Ruby with like cosplay or outfits that make it look like the characters. Or a poster. Anything. Literally anything. Because this game deserves it. That's how good you and your team did on this game. Props. And shout out. The teams will engage in different kinds of fights over the course of the tournament, all of which are sudden-death rules. I probably already read that, but I'm just being sure because I ended up forgetting already because I went off my little spiel of hype. Because again, this game is amazing. We're getting close to the end of it, but still an amazing game. I'd like to see more. I cannot wait to see more because I know there's a sequel. The creator told me this before he completed the main story of the game. And again, he gave me permission to use our character that we're playing here as my avatar. If you see our character slightly different from what he currently is, that'll be explained much later. But anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying this just as much as I am, because again, this game is a good game, and I cannot wait to see more. Sound of 32 matches will be full-time 4-on-4, round of 16 engagements, and quarterfinals will be 2-on-2, semifinals and the final round will be 1-on-1. Teams will have to declare their fighters for each match the day before. Last minute changes are not allowed. Which means that if, for example, your team member for the 2-on-2 falls ill, you will have to fight alone. A fighter is eliminated when they fall unconscious, leave the ring, forfeit, or their aura reserves go into the red. And this year, to spice everything up even more, each match will have special rules. A special stage, the ability to tag in, special restrictions, the possibilities are endless. With the exception of the round of 32, there's going to be no special additions except for a random selection of the arena. You want all the participants to be able to give it their all in their debut matches. And now, without further ado, I feel like 7. Glenda? I'll go with 0. So, Janara, who's team 7 on the bracket? Team Burn. From Haven Academy in Mistral, members Arslan Alton, Bolin Hori, Reese Cloris, and Adrian Shiko. I'll go with 2 this time. I'll give you a 6. Go Janara! Team... Wait, how do you read this one? Oh, I'm so excited. I wonder what team we're going to fight in. Wait, did Janara just had trouble saying Team Ruby? Is that what just happened? Guys, I might have just spoiled it, but we're in Volume 3 currently right now in this portion of the game. So, spoiler warnings up ahead as always. As always, Johnny G, so you can shut up on complaints. I know I'm targeting this one guy because he kept complaining about me. Oh, you're spoiling everything, even though I warned beforehand spoilers. Spoiler for those who haven't watched Ruby at all. So suck it. Oh, I'm so excited. I wonder what team we're going to fight in the first round. Speaking of teams, how did you persuade Noah? From what you told me, he wasn't really enthusiastic about taking part in the competition. Oh, very easy. Very easily. I really don't know, girls. Oh, come on. Girls, if Noah has any doubts about this, we should hear him out. I'm sorry, it's just... If I'm not feeling like it, I don't think I'll be able to give it my all. And seriously, we fought a lot of people together, but this, I mean, do you think I'm even ready for this? On that, let me answer. You are, at least for the team battle. Right, you have enough battle experience and varied skills to make you a dangerous opponent for any fighter in the tournament. And if you don't believe us, you can believe Professor Goodwitch. She has final veto and say on anyone who apply, and she said it's cool by her. We're among the top teams in points after the final exams. The faculty gave us passing battle grades. All they need is for us to turn in the paperwork. Alright, let's put that aside for a moment. The biggest problem here is that, again, as I mentioned before, I don't want to fight other people for the entertainment of a bunch of strangers, and don't talk about Fernandinum. That wasn't for entertaining anyone. That's fair. Then may I suggest an alternate reason? And that'll be... for me, please? Evelyn has been rubbing off on you way too much. Fine, for you, Penny. Well, you're shrewder than I thought you thought, Unit. Oh, it was just for the good of the team. And speaking of which, they just called your name. You're bracket number 9? So we're in the 5th match. In the afternoon? We're going to need to eat light then. I'll start elaborating data for the perfect pre-match meal. So if I may ask, do you have a particular team you like to fight against? Not really, but all things considered, a first-year team would be the best. First year, huh? How so? Well, while we have enough fighting experience to qualify, I can't say that we've really done a lot of fighting as a team, and we never fought another 4-people team together. So a team without that same experience would level the playing field, you know? At that point, it's all up to individual skill. I see. The less time spent covering for Noah, the better. Noah is a perfectly capable fighter. He's good at getting himself out of terrible pinches, I agree, but come on. He's got less experience fighting other hunters than he's got fighting metal monsters. Alright, these rules are awesome. That way I just need to help the girls win the first fight, and then I can just let them fight on their own. And as long as we don't get a particular team fighting oriented team, I'm just sure we'll be able to 1 in the 0. It is number 10, Janara. Which team do you draw? Number 10 is Team Indigo. What the heck? Oh, are you kidding me? So, off the record, Noah, what's it like having to fight the front runner of the competition in the first round? I like to think that this is punishment for my screw-ups, but at this point, I think the world is out to get me. This is, by my estimate, the worst possible matchup you could have had, isn't it? Especially since, in the original continuity, it was Team Sun that fought Team Indigo. But now it's us instead because our existence changes things. Oh boy. Yeah, to put it lightly. Good thing the matches are on Saturday. Penny, Seal, I need a favor. Yes, Jack? Find me all the videos on their fights in the competitive circuit you can find. Ones where the opponents actually put up a fight, please. So I guess, just do your best? What about good luck? I think we'll need it. Nonsense. I'm sure you'll do just fine. Well, what a vote of confidence. And where exactly does that come from? Simple. Your desperation comes from you considering Noah your weak chain link. I don't share that belief, so I'm sure you'll be just fine. felt we had achieved all that we could in the professional circuit. Sure, age brackets are a thing, but still, achievement-wise, there wasn't anywhere else to go. So when we heard that Pyrrha, the star of the dueling circuit, had decided to quit her career to join a hunter academy, well, it inspired us to follow her footsteps. What better use for the refined skills of a Team Indigo than for the good of the fellow men? Octavia, we love you. Yeah, but we didn't expect to be picked as representatives of Vacuole for the Vital tournament. We're grateful and excited to be here. They didn't expect it. Bullshit. Yee, Gwen, you're so cute. I see. Thank you for your time, Team Indigo. And any words for the audience, Miss Gale? Gale? I never fought anyone who uses a whip. It'll be an interesting match. Oh god, she's still hung up about that? I see. Thanks to Team Indigo for their time. Now our special panel with... Alright, that's enough. So I'm not going to mince words here, guys. This is possibly the worst pairing we could have gotten out of the draw. I'm going to tear out Gennara's silky hair one by one. Our opponents have spent more than 5 years fighting almost exclusively other human opponents in exactly these kind of battle. Before setting foot in Shade, they're highly trained and individual skilled, but they also a well-oiled team machine. Also, they're famous and with a large fan following, which means the entire audience is going to be against us. Does that mean we have no chances of winning? Right now, I have no idea, which is why I asked you and Steel to get your hands on recording of their fights. We have less than 48 hours before the fight, which means it's time to do some serious research. You think research will help us close the gap in skill and experience? There's no magical training that will allow us to acquire that in so little time. So our only refuge is strategy. Penny, tape number 1. It's actually a video file, but sure. I love you, girlfriend. Huh? Noah? Oh, Rubes. What are you doing here all alone? Oh, nothing much. I was just taking a break. Also, I was trying to contact Neo again. I haven't heard from her in 2 weeks, ever since the day of the breach. I'm worried. A break from what? Research. We've been going through tapes of Team Indigo's fights, trying to come up with a strategy. We took a break for dinner. But why aren't you having dinner together? On top of the need for fresh air, Jack decided it would be better if everyone internalized the information on their own before bringing it to the team roundtable. Also, I promised Penny I would fight, but I can't bring myself to be in this 100% yet. You don't want to fight? No, and honestly, I still can't understand why anyone would want to. I think everyone has their own reasons. I guess you don't like the idea of fighting for fighting's sake or to entertain people. Yeah. Good. I don't either. Then why? Fighting is just a means to an end, and the tournament is just an opportunity. For me, it's an opportunity to better myself and my team in a controlled environment. There's certainly less risk involved here than in anything else you have ever done, right? Well, I guess so, yeah. So you can't become a better fighter just by training in Miss Goodwich's classroom. This is a nice middle ground between that and a real life or death situation. Also, after what happened with the breach, people were scared. A lot of them didn't even go out anymore. They were all hiding in their homes. But now they're coming out to see the fights. To see the future hunters that are protectors and guardians. It's like I don't know, I think that more than cheering to see who wins, they're going to cheer to so that we can show ourselves to be strong. Because if we are strong, then it makes them feel safe, you know? I guess that would make sense. I mean, I can't speak for everyone, but I think that's true at least for the people in Vale, you know? I know, and it makes the thought of it a bit better. Thanks, Ruby. That's what girlfriends are for. Making it all better from fightings to boo-boos. Speaking of boo-boos, you're going to be fighting Team Mayburn in the first round, right? I don't know about the two other members, but Reese and Arslan are very strong, so watch out. Although Reese can be a little overconfident at times. Thanks for the info. Now want to share some strawberry milk together, or do you still want to take your break alone? I'm back. Hey, boyfriend. Managed to grab some grub at the cafeteria? Some, yeah. Also, I'm feeling a bit better about the whole arena fighting thing. Well, that must have been some good grub. Well, I had some conversation to go with it. It also made me think... Got any ideas, partner? Well, more like a forceful realization of what our basic strategy must be if we want to have any chances to go to the next round. I'm surprised you want to, Noah. Hey, for you, remember? I promised I'd help you get past the first round, and I'm going to give it my all. Anyway, from what we've seen in those tapes, holy shit, they're strong. I mean, individuality, they're already strong enough. Individually. But as a team, they're invincible. They cover for each other's weaknesses and reinforce each other's strengths. I agree. We don't have sufficient data to judge the full scope of their semblances, but when combined, whenever they were in a pinch, the tendency is always to fall back and group up. So I guess the strategy you want to suggest is divide and conquer. Yeah. If we want to win, we have to turn this team battle in a set of one-on-one duels. As a team, we can't beat them. As individuals, they have weaknesses we can exploit. And what is your plan for making them deviate from their ingrained, tried and true strategy? We make the first move. Day 208, 201. I almost said 8. Do you ever leave your office, Osbin? Good question. Also bad timing. Considering I'm now the disgraced former chief of staff for Vale, my presence outside among the people would hardly be welcomed. I think spending more time among the people would actually be beneficial for you. But I digress. That's not what I'm here for. What is it then? The list of candidates. You think you're going to have any better luck in convincing Glinda than I did, James? I'm hurt. Not really. But considering the latest developments, we can't ignore the possibility of going ahead with that plan. What latest developments? During the breach, we managed to capture one of the operation's masterminds, Roman Torchwick. He's proven quite resilient to interrogation, but yesterday he let something slip. That being, if you thought that was bad, just wait for part 2. Team Ruby disrupted their plan, but only part of it. There's more than we're not aware of. And after the breach, the enemy will be extra careful. With Torchwick being our only source of information, we need to prepare for the worst. So, again, Osbin, the list of candidates. I know that Miss Ivory wasn't the only one you had in mind. I see. Carry on then. And I'll end this part right here. I'm also going to take a bit of a break.